Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is English Custom Woodworking. Today I'm going to talk about how I remove excess epoxy from some of my epoxy pours. Over the years I have had to learn how to best do this. As you can see in some of these boards here where I've done some pours, some of my pours, I have excess epoxy that I have to get rid of, all right, and get back down to where, like, if you can see here, I've already sanded back off. Like I said, over the years I've experimented and tried a few different ways of doing this. I'm not saying one way is any more preferential than the other, but I have found that some ways are easier than others. And then there are some ways that you can actually kind of cause a little bit of damage to the epoxy in the process too. So I'm going to go over the top 3 ways that I have found. The first one being this square sander, an orbital sander, what I've always just called it, a palm sander. Does it work? Yes. Is it take longer? Yes. Even using a higher grit or a larger grit sandpaper, I kind of feel like it's still pretty time consuming. You have a tendency of when you're working and you're trying to remove the epoxy, you're turning, the best way that I have found is kind of turning the sander up on its edge and using the edge as almost like a plow to try to scrape it off. And it works, but it doesn't work that great. And you will eventually, you'll wear out your corners of your pad on your sander, trust me, and you'll wear out your edges on your sandpaper first, and then the back there, the middle of your sandpaper will be still almost perfectly good. Another method that I have used is a cabinet scraper. It would help if I had a workbench, a good workbench that was set up for this, but you can take your cabinet scraper and actually remove. You just simply, and I was barely touching it real light, but if you can see, I removed some epoxy right there just from doing that. This actually is a pretty good method, and I like it because it also, at the same time, when you pour and you have these ridges, you kind of have to be careful what you're doing, because you can obviously affect the wood that is on each side of the epoxy. And when you're using this, I kind of feel like it does a really good job of kind of mixing in the edges real good, smoothing in the edges around it, not scratching the wood or tearing up the wood. But this will, if anybody that's used one of these over a certain amount of time, know that after using one of these things for a little while, your hands are going to get sore, tired. This thing's going to get hot. So it works, but it's still, in my opinion, not the best method. What I have found the best method to be is one of these 5-inch orbital sanders. I'm going to be honest with you, through all my years of woodworking, I have never owned one of these until just about maybe a year and a half ago. I finally bought one, and now I own 3. With any type of material that you're doing, whether it's regular sanding or this epoxy sanding, you can move, in my opinion, you can move way more material with one of these orbital sanders than you can a palm sander. Do palm sanders work? Yes, they do. And I think they actually work better for fine finish sanding rather than if you're trying to actually remove quite a bit of material. But I have found that these orbital sanders, when you're doing the epoxy finishing, the epoxy sanding, these things will straight move some material. They'll actually move it so much that you have to be careful. I recommend, let's see what this one is. This one's 100. So if you use anything from 80 to 100 to do your initial rough start. So like, what I mean by rough is, okay, so I've got some freshly poured epoxy here. It's never been sanded on before. I will use an 80 or 100 to remove the top part of the epoxy where it started, and when you start to sand on it, you'll know what I'm talking about. it starts to kind of gray a little bit, and it starts to kind of get down. And then before I actually get down to the surrounding material, I will stop. I will switch over and you start using a finer grit. So like if you started with an 80 or 100, maybe like 120 or 150, and then use that lesser grit to actually get it down to the surrounding material. That way you're not gouging the surrounding material, and that way that you're not scarring your epoxy real bad. If you have a large area, so a lot of these are cracks and seams, and I wouldn't consider it like a large area, but some of my other boards have larger areas. So this is a little bit over 1 inch wide. So if you use that 80 or 100 grit sandpaper, you're liable to leave some scratches. Now they're going to be minute scratches, but you're going to leave some scratches. And if it's down too low, then those scratches are going to be below your surrounding surface. So when you're trying to take those scratches out, you're actually going to lower your epoxy level lower than the surrounding material, which is not what you want. So that's why I say stop short with the heavier grit, and then go to a lighter grit. You can even if you do create gouges, you can get them out with other lower grit sandpaper, and if you have to, you can do another pour on top of it, and the next pour will cover in those scratches. But just for hindsight, it's easier if you stop short and then decrease your grit as you work yourself down. Especially, like, I will sand for hours, and this is one of the reasons why I highly recommend this. Is this going to decrease your amount of work that you have to actually do? If I couldn't run one of these. My hands would be so sore if I ran one of these things for 30-45 minutes. But I can sit here and run this Orbital sander for a couple hours doing boards and mass producing stuff, which is usually what I do. So this is what I recommend. I'm going to shoot some videos where I'm sanding, and I'll kind of show you how I do it and the process that I go through, and maybe I'll add a little voiceover at the end. And appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you at the end. thanks for watching, guys. Sanded out a few boards here just real quick. I've got a whole bunch to do. I know you don't want to sit here and watch me for hours sand out all these different boards, but got this one down pretty good. Started at 100 and then I switched off to a 150 pad. One thing that I like to do, just because of my workbench, the way I'm set up, if I have a finished edge or finished side that I don't want to get kind of marred up, I try to sand. I'll actually sand on my workbench to kind of smooth it down real good to make sure there's not any edges or anything that's going to cause a scratch or scar. But this is just regular cheap drawer liner that you can get down at pretty much any department store for your kitchen. And I put it down. It's like a rubber-like material, and it helps pad the back side to keep anything from scarring. So anyway, it's a helpful little tip that I know that works for me pretty good. I'll make a few more videos, trying to make these videos a little bit better. I'm learning as I go, but I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one. And remember, everybody, measure twice, cut once.